back to my channel. So today I'm going to be filming things you need to buy for GCSEs. So let's get into the video. Okay, let's start off with something everyone should know about, but I don't know whether people truly actually appreciate how much they use them until the end of year 11. So for me it is revision guides. So I've just got my combined science one to show you here, and especially CGP, they do a lot of exam boards and a lot of subjects for revision guides. And basically why you want to get revision guides for every single subject you take is because you want to make sure that you have all of the information on the specification and you have concise notes, even if you haven't made them yourself, just in case you don't understand something. And these are so handy to reference to, and these, like, honestly, revision guides just make everything so much easier, and I feel like everyone can kind of understand a revision guide, and they basically have just everything you'll need in nice colourful notes, and it's often handy to make even conciser notes out of these. This kind of brings me on to the next thing that I wanted to talk about, but you need notebooks. So even if you're working from books at GCSEs, like if you're working from exercise books, or if you're working in Leave Arch files like I did, you need to have notebooks that you can make notes in, because you want to be able to have concise notes somewhere, and I mean concise. Make short notes of the key things in each subject. So I often used just A4 plain notebooks for different subjects and just wrote notes in for each topic, and you can make them look pretty, you can make them look just basic, but you just want to be able to have somewhere to be able to write notes, even if it's not a full book, just somewhere else other than your actual work that you can write key notes that you want to write about. So the next thing you need is a good black pen. So I have two here to show you. I have one which is the Uniball Eye Waterproof pencil in fine. It's basically just a black pen, but you need a good black pen because in GCSE exams you have to write in black, you cannot write in blue. So if the sooner you get used to writing in a black pen, if you ever wrote in blue, then the better, because then it won't feel strange in the exam to be writing in a different pen. And also you want to get used to the pen that you're going to be writing in the exam and being able to write fast with that pen and everything. My recent favourite that I also mentioned in things I bought in lockdown is the Pentel Energel liquid gel ink pen. This is really great if you want a gel pen. I know that a lot of my friends write in biros too, so a black biro is absolutely fine, but just get used to writing in black, even though blue sometimes looks nicer. Another thing that I feel is quite unusual to mention is a memory stick. So this little memory stick, obviously it's a bit of a strange one because it has the USB on one end, so if you're going to the school computers, and then you slide it across and it has the USB-C for my MacBook on the other one. I use this memory stick so much. I used it for photography, for transferring all my photos and things and saving my PowerPoints, and I also used it for other subjects that I wanted to type essays but I wanted to print them off at school, or I needed to save some work from school that I wanted to do at home and I didn't want to have to use an online server or something. This was so handy, and just being able to save any revision resources onto here and things like that from school, it's great. You don't have to have a big one, but just you don't have to have a lot of gigabytes, but honestly you just need a memory stick just in case you need to bring any work home. If you're ever using a computer, I definitely recommend getting a memory stick for GCSEs and just having everything on there so you know exactly where it is. But make sure you back it up, because I know a lot of people in my school lost theirs. Okay, another thing which I think is quite obvious is highlighters. I feel like everyone at school had these, but these are the Stabilo Boss Original Pastel highlighters, and you get them in lots of different colours. But highlighters come in so handy, especially in English and when you're annotating a text, or even in maths when you're trying to make notes on how to do something and you're trying to show step by steps, and you're highlighting the different steps in different colours, everything like that. Highlighters just come in so handy. Even if you just have one or two, just make sure you get some highlighters to be able to use, because you can even take those into the exams, so you can highlight key bits of extracts and things. So definitely make sure to grab some highlighters, even if it's just one or two colours. Okay, another thing I recommend, I've only got 3 colours here, but grab some coloured pens. So these are the Muji fine liners, I guess you'd call them. They're 0.5mm, so they're quite fine. But these pens are brilliant. But you can grab any sort of coloured pens, biros or felt tips even. You just need some sort of coloured pens to be able to mark your work in, because I found that I did a lot more marking myself in GCSEs, so we'd often do a lot more like science topic tests, and this might not be the same for every school, but we did a lot of science topic tests where we'd have to mark our own or a partner's work, and we also did things like in English we had to write HTIs. And so just make sure to grab some coloured pens. They come in handy anyway, you know, just being able to annotate things and also to make your notes stand out and make them a little bit prettier. So I just think that coloured pens are definitely essential in a GCSE pencil case because they always come in handy, you'll always use them. So, you know, just get some, I promise you'll use them for something. Okay, my last stationery item is a calculator, a good calculator. I know this is like the old one now because I've noticed that the recent GCSE students have newer calculators than this, but this was the one we were told to get when I joined secondary school. But you do need to get a good calculator, preferably solar powered, so that if it runs out anytime you can just put it in the sun and hopefully it won't run out as often because it has the sunlight energy as well. So yeah, you want to have a good working calculator that you take to school every single day. You will use it in maths and you will use it in science no matter what, because in science you're allowed to use them, so if there's any maths you can do it on your calculator, so why not? And in maths there's so many topics that are on the calculator test because there's 2 calculator tests, so you want to make sure you have your calculator with you, which is so handy. So get yourself a good working calculator if you can. I know they're quite expensive, but you know, there's lots on the market and you can probably find one for a little bit cheaper than the like Casio branded ones, but just make sure to get yourself a good working calculator because that is definitely really handy in GCSEs. So another really essential item, especially if you're aiming for a higher grade in English, is getting your English lit texts. So this is one of my texts, which is Much Ado About Nothing, and I brought, so the school library gave us a copy of each text, but I also brought a copy of each text, and I know this is quite expensive to do, like this one was, you know, probably like £8 or something ridiculous, and especially as this one's printed in colour, but honestly it is so worth it and so much easier to revise from, and also you never have to return these books, so even when you're sat right like the day before the exam, if you've already had to give in your other books, you won't have to give in these ones because they're yours. And just being in class and being able to highlight straight onto the text and annotate is just so handy. Lots of my friends didn't have copies of the text and they wouldn't be able to do this, and they would have to reference the line and the page and everything and then write notes about it, whereas I could just write straight onto it, annotate each word and everything like that, and it saved so much time and it was just so handy to have. I definitely recommend buying your own English text if you can. You will use them, and if you write in them and you make your notes, they'll still be valuable. You can probably sell these on Depop or somewhere for a couple of pounds, so you get some of your money back, but they also have my annotations in, which is probably a good thing. But yeah, just revising from these even. I obviously didn't ever take my exams, but revising for my mocks and just revising for little tests and little essays that we were going to do in class over the 2 years, just having this all in a book to revise from, knowing that I had every single page that we'd covered in class annotated in this book, it was just so handy to have. Another thing you need to buy at the start of GCSEs is just packs and packs of blank flashcards. I have a few left here over from when I was about to start revising this year, and you will use these so much and more than you think. I'm not really a flashcard person. I don't really like to learn from flashcards. That's not my favourite way of revising, but I still use them because science have so many equations, especially physics, that you just want to quickly test yourself on, and the same with maths, with circle theorems and things like that, and also with English quotes, trying to learn those. You just want to have flashcards that you can write really quick answers on and be able to revise from quickly, as the repetitiveness of using flashcards helps all of it to go into your memory. So flashcards are a great way of revising, so make sure, if you've never tried flashcards before or you don't know what way of revising works best for you, make sure to give flashcards a shot, because I know for a lot of my friends that was their number one way of revising. Yeah, flashcards are great for lots of things, and even it's a great size of piece of paper if you just want to make really concise notes on a topic and you don't want to have any more than this, because it's quite an easy thing to carry around. I will definitely be using more flashcards in A level to make sure I make concise notes, and have little notes on each topic. So a couple more things I wanted to talk about were, you want a diary or a planner. So this, I have a planner from school, but it wasn't my kind of ideal planner. But I have this diary from Busy Bee, I think it is, and this was the mid-year planner from 2019-2020, and I honestly used it so much. It was so handy. It has little like pockets at the front that they gave you stickers in, but I also put my exam timetables in there, and and I did where to put your timetables, so I could write out my 2-week timetable in those slots. This is, for example, a page, and I had monthly spreads, which was so handy. Honestly, this worked so well for me. I definitely would buy one of these again if I wasn't going to do my bullet journal this year, but I wanted to make something a bit more personal. But honestly, this was so handy to be able to write in exams and tests, and you know, like just being able to write in what was going on when I needed to have non-uniform, when I needed, I had a little reminders thing at the side that I could use, things I needed to buy, shopping lists, and it just was so helpful be able to have this. So get yourself a planner if you like to be organised. I definitely wanted to be more organised than most people at GCSEs, but I find that so handy. If you want to and you have time, then definitely do a bullet journal. This is the bullet journal I'm going to be doing this year, because you can personalise it to you. Although that diary worked really well for me, it might not work well for someone else. And so you can have a bullet journal that you basically you can tailor to yourself. So, and that's not too expensive. Planner's probably around £15, so if you're prepared to spend that, then I definitely get one. Okay everyone, that is it for this video. If you enjoyed watching, please make sure to give it a like and subscribe to my channel. I will see you very soon for another video. Bye!